Good day, everyone. This is Prompting Beatles, and welcome to DDO Players News, where we take a look at latest news at DDO and on the tabletop. And please welcome my co-host from Ravenloft, Dracula.
Who is currently dying again, but
The
it's
plague rats
fine.
got into your rat pack again.
It was not the rats. I am for sure one of the gnome girls brought the Ravenloft plague into the castle.
One of the gnome girls.
I will find out which one it was, and vengeance shall be swift.
Vengeance shall be swift.
Yes, I am
Well-
sick, if you couldn't tell, so I apologize for the voice.
Then we will have to head into our news and see what is happening in DDO.
Not a thing. We can just move on. There's nothing happening right now.
What is this thing called? The new producer and a letter from said.
Oh, well, yeah, I suppose we could talk about that. Yeah, we finally got the long-awaited producer's letter. And with that, we know who the new producer is. We have been told we were going to get a new producer. This is going to work hand in hand with Severlin in his executive producer role. So Severlin still is the executive producer. I do know there was a lot of people confused about that, but yes, Seb is still the executive producer. The new producer will work alongside with him. The producer is somebody that we know of. We know the name. Matter of fact, we've talked to her on the podcast before. It's been a long time.
Ooh.
But it's Tolero is the new producer for DDO. She has been in the game for a long time. She's done a lot of stuff at SSG. Most recently, she was on the e-commerce team. She was basically head of e-commerce, and she did a lot of stuff with that.
That's where I remember the name from. Okay.
Yes, yeah, gonna say. And then if you've played DDO for any amount of time, I'm sure you've heard Tolero's name. She goes way back, way back. So congratulations. She moved up a little bit, as it were. So she is going to be the producer. She started out her producer's letter, which we have linked in the show notes, so you can go read the whole thing. I'm not going to go through all this. She basically introduced herself, talks about her history with DDO a little bit, and then she gets to the good stuff. We find out what's happening with Dungeons & Dragons Online. She started out with a little development roadmap, which is kind of nice. I don't believe I've ever seen them do this in a producer's letter. So it's kind of nice. She starts out with quarter one, and we're going to be hitting more of this stuff in depth here in a second.
Right.
Quarter one is Snow Peaks Festival, which is ending Monday, as a matter of fact, as we record this. So your last chance to do that. Update 53, Hunter Are Hunted, which is coming out next week. And then the 16th anniversary celebration, also happening soon. And then in quarter two, we get update 54, Isle of Dread. Yay, dinosaurs. Hardcore season 6. More on dinosaurs in a minute. And also DDO.com is going to get refreshed. In quarter three, we're going to get Crystal Cove refresh and update 55. What's that?
No, we'll talk. We'll talk about that more later.
Yep,
so.
we're going to hit all these in depth here in a second. Okay. And then in the future, unknown when that is, just the future, update 56, updated character banks, and the forums are going to be revamped.
Okay.
So let's go in depth with this stuff. Snow Peaks, we have talked about that and what that is. She did just iterate, they added a new challenge quest for that. And they hope you enjoyed that. And then she does touch a little bit on update 53. It's called Hunter and Hunted. It's going to be a level 7 heroic and a 32 legendary quest. This will be set in the Feywild universe. You're going to be investigating the mysterious wild hunt. Update 53 will also include a new legendary level raid. And the cool thing about this is you don't need to own the Fables of the Feywild expansion in order to play the adventure pack. So that is pretty sweet. So if you don't have Feywild yet, you will still be able to do this quest pack, because you can still get to there even though you don't have the
Okay,
expansion.
yeah, because there's some question on one of the streams on whether or not you get there, and I think Cordovan said that if you can't get to the Feywild without the pack, then it's probably going to be accessible through the hut or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I would assume, and I do remember Cordovan saying that. So yeah, that would be my guess is how they're going to do it. So update 53 going to be coming out soon, tentatively scheduled for this week. It's going to be free to VIPs, of course, and will be available into the DDO store for premiums and are free to play. If you haven't bought anything yet, you'll be premium if you buy this.
Okay.
This is also going to bring us into the 16th anniversary. Can you believe this game has been around for 16 years? That is amazing. Just seems like yesterday we were celebrating number 5. Yeah, where they are making plans for the 16th anniversary, and they're going to make it extra sweet this time around. They're going to give away some free stuff from the D&D Player's Handbook, and this is going to be permanently free.
Oh, okay. Now, is it going to be extra sweet because it's a sweet 16, I guess?
Oh, you know what? I didn't think about that. Yeah. See, I didn't even connect the two, but I'm sure that was a little tongue-in-cheek thing that they put in there. I bet you're right. See, and you would figure that out. So yes, when the anniversary update happens, they are going to be making the following races and classes from the core D&D Player's Handbook permanently free for everyone in DDO. So that is going to be the gnome.
Gnomes are coming. They're coming for you.
The half-elf, the half-orc, the drow, the wood elf, the dragonborn, and the tiefling.
Oh, so that's now is this that must be the 5th edition core, because that's certainly not what was. There certainly weren't core races in the 3rd edition.
Yes, it is 5e core. And then the following classes will also be unlocked for free for everybody: Druid, Monk, and Warlock. So that means you don't have to purchase some of these now, but you might be saying to yourself, wait a minute, I bought Warlock, or I bought the Monk. So if you have already purchased any of these races and are the classes, they are going to be giving you a gift of a greater elixir of discovery for each of the races or classes that you have previously purchased prior to the anniversary patch hitting. These gifts are going to be distributed when the patch does go live. So yes, that does mean between now and when the patch happens, if you buy any of these races that we just talked about, you're going to get that gift as well, as long as you buy it before the patch goes live.
Well, if you don't, then it'll be impossible to buy it.
And that's exactly it. That's what I was going to say, because, of course, after the patch goes live, you can't buy those because they're free anyway. So, yeah, that's kind of cool that they're giving... it's really good for, like, new players or newer players, because it's going to open up options
it's going to close up a lot of your pack.
Right, yeah.
Pack,
yeah, it will. Yeah, it will. That is true. So... VIPs are also getting a little love in the 16th anniversary celebration. They want to thank you for being VIP by increasing your free gold rolls on your daily dice from once per week to once per day till the end of the year. Yeah, that is freaking amazing. So once per day, you're going to get your silver and your gold instead of just once a week for the gold. This will just keep in mind, this doesn't start until the anniversary patch hits. And they are going to post another announcement with a little bit more further details when the anniversary patch is going to launch. But they are grateful for everybody that is VIP, and they do look forward to seeing even more people building unique characters in DDO with all these new options that new players are going to have. So yeah, that is awesome.
Trying to encourage us to log in more often.
Exactly. It's like, if I get a daily gold roll every day, chances are I can get that nightmare mount right. No, not at all. Will never happen. But
well, you have 200 chances instead of 50
that's right.
chances.
So I might have to force myself to log in every day to at least roll that gold to see if I can get that nightmare mount, which will never happen. But we'll see. Maybe that's what I'll do. Like I'll try. I can't guarantee I can do it every day, but I'm going to try to see if, when this starts, until the end of the year when it ends, if I get a mount.
Okay. Maybe the Nightmare Mount is conspiring with the Skeletal Steed.
I'm sure it is.
Yes.
I'm sure it is, because I still don't have one of those either. So let's look ahead at other stuff besides the anniversary and update 53 Hunter and Hunted. Tolero goes on. It's time for her to tell you about one of her absolute favorite things happening this year, dinosaurs. That's right, dinosaurs.
Okay.
And then they do show some of the artwork. If you're watching the YouTube version of this, it's going to be on the screen right now. Keep in mind, this is preliminary stuff they're working on. And you might be saying yourself, why the heck are dinosaurs coming to DDO? Because of the Isle of Dread, man. The Isle of Dread.
Well, we've had some around ever since Sharn, of course.
We have, yes.
We've had raptors, at least. I don't think we've had any other types.
Yeah, it looks like from what they have posted, they are changing the look of the raptors a little bit. And then there looks like only way I can describe it, as a raptor dragon combo, kind of.
I was wondering, what is this thing?
I mean,
this Draptor.
Draptor. There you go. I like that. Draptor. We have now named it. I don't know. I've never seen a dinosaur that looked like that, so apparently this is something they're making up, but it looks cool as heck.
Okay. Oh, it's a feathery raptor. Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of like I said, it's kind of got like the feathery crown, kind of like a dragon-ish.
Well, yeah, I think it's, there might be a homage to DDO, but I think it's because...
But I mean, dinosaurs did have feathers, so...
Right. So
yeah.
I think that's the reason.
And then we go on and we get some little sneak peeks of a couple other dinosaurs they're working on. First one they showed up is the Triceratops, which everybody is familiar with that dinosaur. If you know dinosaurs at all, you know what a Triceratops is. Yeah. And then the other one we get a look at, I was trying to figure out what dinosaur this is.
It looks like some sort of ankylosaur. Let's see.
Yeah. I've seen a similar type dinosaur, but I couldn't remember the name, but I think you might be right. I think it is.
But the usual archosaurs that I usually see have a heavy club on the back of their tail, so this one doesn't.
Right, this one just has spikes all around. But yeah, right. So like I said, if you're watching the YouTube version, this is on the screen for you. If you're just listening to the audio version, go over to the site, pull up the show notes, and you can see what the heck we're talking about right now.
Right.
Tolero says, I think the world underestimates how much the team loves dinosaurs. We all love dinosaurs.
Yes.
And this spring, we are about to get the most dinosaur-laden D&D module of all time, the Isle of Dread. This is going to be an expansion, so expect to see fun goodies available in the pre-purchase opportunity coming this spring, including the new Tabaxi character race. Hold that thought. I have thoughts on this. Later in the spring, when the expansion does launch, you will need all your daring to face the threats in the Isle of Dread. But one thing she's going to tell you now is that this expansion is going to be a level cap increase. We knew this was coming, and now we know what it is and when it's going to happen. So it's going to hit with the expansion, Isle of Dread. It's going to bring the game up to level 32.
Not that I'll ever reach it.
I was about to say, like, how fast is it going to take Ponlys to hit 32? So we knew that was coming.
I'll get my Tabaxi up to 32.
There you go. There's your goal for next year, is to get your Tabaxi up to 32. So yeah, we knew a level cap was coming. We just didn't know what level it was going to be and when it was coming, but now we know. So let's talk about the Tabaxi for a moment. If you're not familiar with what a Tabaxi is, it is a cat person, is the easiest way to describe it.
In a dinosaur update?
That's what a lot of people are saying. A lot of people are saying, why this for the Isle of Dread?
I was expecting something like a bird-like race, since that's at least...
yeah, like a Kenku or something like that. Okay, yeah, maybe. The only thing I can think of is why they're doing the Tabaxi is, if I recall right, Isle of Dread, I'm pretty sure introduced the Rakaza. I'm almost positive. If it didn't introduce it, they did play heavily in the Isle of Dread. There was Rakashas everywhere in the Isle of Dread. I think it's when they introduced them. So I wonder if they're playing off of that, and since they're basically going 5E for everything now, which I'm guessing is a directive from WotC, so they're basing races and everything off of 5E. They just went with the Tabaxi because it's close to a Rakasha. I'm assuming that's the only thing I can figure out. That's the only tie-in I can give you to Isle of Dread is Tabaxis are kind of like Rakashas, which I've always said I wanted to see a Rakasha playable race, so maybe this is the closest I'll ever get. So, okay, sure. I'll take it. So, yeah, I'm kind of excited about this. I think it'll be interesting. I will definitely create one. I just can't wait for Isle of Dread. I love that module, so I'm super excited for this.
Okay.
And then after the Isle of Dread, beyond the Isle of Dread, there's a lot of important things on the radar. On the serious end of the spectrum, they really want to help improve game performance.
Good luck.
Yeah, exactly. Good luck, SSG. We love you for trying. For a while now, they have been focused on creating tools to let them see what's happening so they can be more proactive rather than reactive. They have also created a multidisciplinary strike team that meets regularly with Tolero and Seb to help them focus on what these diagnostics are telling them. The IT ops teams are tackling the server environment. The DBAs are working on upgrades and efficiencies, and game engineering and designers are focusing on problematic monsters, NPCs, and systems that need improvement. So, big key from that is they're working on game performance. They're working on it. They know they're working on it. She does list some of the things that they have found already and they fixed or they are fixing. You can go over there. We've kind of talked about this stuff before. This is really nothing new. So you can, like I said, look over all these. The only thing that I don't remember them talking about, if they have talked about this in a patch note, I don't recall it. But she does say that they have reconfigured server resource utilization to be more efficient, and they added some new alarms to let the ops team better detect excessive CPU load in a way that they couldn't detect previously. I know as an IT person, that is a good thing, because if your CPUs are getting excessively overloaded, that is a bad thing for your server performance. So if the ops team can know about that sooner rather than later, should be a good thing. And then they did this over on the Lotro side first, and now they've done it here in a DDO. They have recently adjusted the bandwidth setting for the game, which they suspected was slowing parts of the UI and also giving some raiders some trouble. The game and the player's characters have grown more complex over time, passing through more events than back when those were first set.
Yeah, I think it probably affected the ones who were commonly in large group areas, because I haven't noticed it as much because I'm mostly solo, right? But yes, the raids, I guess, with all the stuff going back and forth.
Did you notice anything in Lotro because they did it in Lotro first? So did you notice?
Right, that's what I was talking about.
Oh, okay.
Lotro. I don't think I noticed that much of a difference, but then I don't.
Yeah.
Usually when I'm doing raids, it's usually relatively small and less complex raids. But I'm sure those big complex raids are the places where the bandwidth change is probably going to have the most impact, because
right. Well, yeah, that's and they have said that several times that it's going to help larger instances and larger things like that. So we'll see. Right. They also did introduce some fixes to the Shadowfell landscape that were too performance heavy. So we'll see how that does. And then the engineers also did say they pinpointed some lag causing behavior lurking under the hood of the quest system. And they're still working through that. So it's a work in progress is what we can say. But anything they can do to help lag and game performance, always welcome to all players, I am sure. So we do have some things coming up on the horizon. There is a new hardcore league coming this summer, which we assumed a new hardcore league was coming.
Yeah.
They're going to be shaking some things up after the winter redo season. They're going to have a twist, but they're keeping it a secret for now.
A twist.
There's always a twist, finally. Always.
There's a twister, yes.
And there's also, they're going to update Crystal Cove, both to help with performance during the event and also to mix up the monsters and keep the rewards relevant.
In other words, we're going to be pounced on by dinosaurs.
Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. But Crystal Cove has kind of needed some love for a long time, so we'll see. And then they're also going to be updating a classic adventure pack so that it will be able to be played at higher levels once the level cap increases with the Isle of Dread expansion. They're not ready to announce the details on which pack is getting the update.
Okay.
And I know people on the forums are already throwing out all of the names that they want to see updated, so we'll see.
Which ones don't have a higher level one yet?
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of the older packs that, I mean, it could be, we could spend 20 minutes talking names about adventure packs that they could do this to.
Yes, but it says classic adventure packs. I thought a lot of the classics already had.
No, there's quite a few of the classic ones that don't yet. So
okay.
They have plenty to choose from. So we'll see.
Okay.
Also, there's going to be a new adventure pack coming up later this year where a familiar villain is up to new trouble.
A familiar villain is up to new trouble.
So that is a lot of choices as well. I know two I would like to see, and nobody will be shocked when I say these two.
Well, I have a feeling that one of them will be Strahd.
Exactly. That is my first choice. Strahd, definitely. I want more Ravenloft.
You want more Ravenloft, yeah.
And I want to see us do something with Militia again. It's been a long time since we've seen
Militia. Well, she's more of she's almost more of a frenemy than a...
Well, that's true. She's really, that's true. But so we'll see. And then again, people on the forums are wildly speculating about this too. But
right.
Go ahead and post over on the site or on the YouTube video which classic villain you would like to see us go up against again. They're also going to be adding some new character build options, which she doesn't say any more about that. Just kind of says, we're going to do this, but we'll tell you more about it later. Always a good thing, but who knows what they're going to do. And there's even going to be a feature that should be both a boon of better performance and something a lot of people have been asking about, an updated character bank.
Hip, hip, hurrah.
Yay, exactly. Not only will this mean they'll be able to offer more character bank space, yay, but it will also perform better from a server perspective as well. So they
that's bonus.
Exactly. They finally figured out the secret to the character bank. So, and then,
that would be...
Yeah, that is a welcome change.
That would be a welcome change.
And then we hinted about it before, and I think you wanted to ask a question about it, but DDO.com is going to be updated, which it sorely needs it.
Yes, they did do this to Lotro already.
Oh, I was not aware of that.
No, they did the update to Lotro.com. They did the forums. They don't have the forums updated yet.
And
that's supposed to be coming later this year. They'll probably try and bring in both forums at the same time.
I would think they would do them. Yeah, that would make the most sense. But yeah, the forums are also getting updated as well.
Yeah. But Lotro.com does look a lot better. Like, for example, the Lotro Beacon, which is the equivalent to the Chronicle, looks really, really nice in the new layout. And what are the ideas to make it more mobile friendly, in addition to other reasons they wish to update it?
Yes, that's the big thing with DDO.com is it sucks on mobile. It's horrible. So that's interesting. And then I know they did say with the forum upgrade, you are going to have to re-register. Cordobin did say on his weekly live stream that they don't expect name sniping to be an issue, but if it is, they'll take care of it. So everybody should be able to get your own name again. I would hope the community would be better than that, but we'll see. So that's coming soon. More information on that as it happens. We don't know what their plans are, but they just said they want it to look better on mobile. They just want it to look more updated, more up to date, because now it does look kind of dated. So it's a good thing. And that's what we got on the horizon. She ends the letter with very grateful for all players who have made all of this possible. She looks forward to telling you about the new fun things in future letters she plans to do regularly throughout the year. Also looking forward to seeing you at the DDO live streams and other places around the community. She can't wait for us to have many more years of adventures together. Have fun. See you in game, Tolero.
That is quite a letter.
It was. There was a lot of stuff. I wasn't quite expecting that much to come out of it. So,
yeah. I get one of the things I wasn't sure about was it going to be a full year's letter or not, because in Lotro they're doing quarterlies instead of
right. And I knew they were doing that in Lotro, so I kind of wondered if that's what they were going to do. But no, we actually got the whole full year layout. So exciting things are happening. That's all I can say. And once again, congratulations to Tolero for moving up from e-commerce to the newest producer.
Welcome aboard. Then let's head into the DDO Chronicle issue 400. Oh boy. I'm sorry. I opened up the Chronicle and I said, oh yeah, the new layout is going to look a lot better.
Yeah, I'll have to go over to Lotro and look at the beacon and see the difference. Very noticeable, huh?
Yeah, I forgot how. I was wondering, what did the old layout look like? Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, this is what it looks like. Holy crap. So, yeah, we are at issue 457 of the Chronicle.
Getting closer to 500.
Yeah. Community Spotlight's Malalator and friends recently completed a 5K favorite challenge on hardcore and celebrated it in a huge way. So click over and check all that out. Congratulations for getting 5K on the hardcore. That's some dedication. So good job. Axel over on his channel has a 2-minute raid guide for Old Baba's Hut. So check that out. Chronicle comment. We'll do that before we jump into the fan site news. Will be different this week. Do people in Stormreach eat magically large vegetables? And if not, why not?
Magically large vegetables?
Right. So like in Stormreach, is your carrot magically larger than a normal carrot? Or is it just a regular carrot?
Oh, well, seeing how I can't imagine eating a magically large carrot.
Okay.
So why make it magically large if you can't imagine someone eating one that large?
And my answer is, it depends if a gnome illusionist is around.
Gnomes are coming. They're coming for you.
Because then you might think it's magically large, but it's really not magically large.
Okay. Yes. I was thinking, unless it was like that movie with Bob Newhart back in the 80s? I don't remember what it was called, which involved magically large vegetables.
Oh my God, I completely forgot about that movie. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. What was the name of that movie? I'll have to look that up now. So there you go. Fan site news of our Chronicle, DDO Cast, episode 666.
Wow.
That's awesome.
It must have been a beastly episode.
Oh, nice. They are focusing on debuffing. So congrats to Patrick for, that is just crazy. They have that many episodes. We'll get there some year, maybe. We also got a little shout out just because we do a weekly or semi-weekly or semi-monthly or, I mean, whenever, But yeah, you can listen to us over on our website and see what we're talking about. So there you go. Yeah, once again, my fault. Sorry, people. Sorry. DDO stream, your first stop to find DDO over on Twitch. Voodoo Spice, of course, has coffee and chat. DDOPL gets into the wrong place, and A Bard's Life goes titleless. Okay. Elsewhere on Twitch, Karbaski is returning after a long break. Olivia Crowley is running static, and XNodesXX has a message for Colonel Sanders.
Colonel Sanders?
I'm going to have to watch that video now to find out what the heck that is about.
I'm trying to think what in DDO involves chickens. I mean,
yeah, I'm not sure.
It's a big theme in Lotro, but in DDO...
I'm going to have to watch that video now. I'm curious. I'm going to click over and watch that after the show and find out what the heck that is about. People over on YouTube also making some DDO videos. Saba Jade of the Damsel's Game, of course, is getting help within the flesh.
Oh, yes, I noticed that.
Pika Gaming is running a Reaper 10, and Jazam does some melee DPS testing. So there you have it. Then, of course, don't forget Producer's Letter, which we just talked about, is out. Read that. Update 5300 arriving next week. My guess is Wednesday, but they didn't announce the date yet. Anniversary event we also talked about begins next week. So stay tuned to the show, to the site, over DDO.com, all of the places to find out all of that information. We'll round out the Chronicle as we always do with the screenshot of the week. That is Celsius is setting fire to a particularly annoying branch in the 551st DDO screenshot of the week.
Annoying branch.
I mean, to me, if you have ever played a game with me, you know, trees are my arch nemesis anyway. I always get stuck on trees in any freaking game I play. So congratulations, Sure, on lighting the branch on fire because trees are annoying.
You've declared war on the trees.
I have. If you have ever played any game with me, you know what I'm talking about. Every freaking tree, I'm like, hold on, I'm stuck on a dang tree again. Every freaking time. I don't get it.
All right. Then let's go and find out what's coming in from the dungeon. Where Wizards of the Coast has released their 2021 earnings report.
We have found the one thing that COVID-19 was good for.
What?
The one thing. WotC's earnings. The only good thing to come out of COVID was WotC made a crap ton of money in 2021.
Is that why their CEO got promoted?
Yes, and more on that in a minute too. But yeah, Wizards of the Coast did announce that they did $952 million in tabletop game sales in 2021. With that number plus their video and digital game revenues, they amassed over 1 billion total sales last year. Yes, that's billion with a B. 1 billion. And that is the first time ever WotC has made that much money. Of course, parent company Hasbro did reveal this in their earnings conference call that they did last week. Wizards moved to a new operating segment. They are now calling it Wizards of the Coast and Digital Gaming. Okay, I'm not exactly sure why they did that, but I'm sure business people would say, oh yeah, that makes sense because of this. But previously, it was kind of interesting. Hasbro never really talked about what percentage was tabletop and what percentage was digital, but now they're doing that.
Okay.
They said 74% of the 1.3 billion in sales. 74% of the 1.3 billion was for tabletop games. So the rest was attributed to digital gaming.
Okay.
Digital gaming, they said, grew at a slower rate, but they still were up from the previous year. So WotC made a lot of money. So 1 billion in sales for the first time ever for WotC. So congratulations.
Now, does this include residuals from licensed games such as DDO?
I would assume it would, yes. I tried to look that up and they don't in the breakdown, they just say WotC as a whole for D&D. But I would assume so, yes. That would include all licensing for everything. But the DDO part might factor into I wonder if they would factor that into the game sales, or if they would factor that into tabletop because it's the license for tabletop. See, that's a good question. I'm not sure. I'm not business-minded enough to know which way that would go, but I would assume, yes, that would be factored
One
in
or the
somehow.
other,
Yeah. If you're wondering, Hasbro itself had a very good year. $2.1 billion. They were up 19%.
Does that include WotC or just
I would assume
WotC?
I would assume that would include it.
That means
maybe
the
not.
majority of the money would be from WotC in that case.
Yeah, no, I would think no. I would think that wouldn't include WotC. I would think that would be Hasbro brands other than WotC. Now that I say that, that would make more sense. So that's like toy sales, board game sales, their licenses they have. So basically you can say Hasbro made 3.1 something or 3.4 if you factor in WotC. A lot of money. Hasbro did say the lot of the money came from HeroQuest, actually. They made a ton of money on that HeroQuest. Well, it wasn't a Kickstarter. It was their Pulse. Hasbro Pulse, which is basically their Kickstarter.
Yeah.
That was very successful for them. And of course, they have like G.I. Joe, Transformers, that probably helped as well too. So there you go. WotC making a lot of money. So is Hasbro.
I remember back in the days when they were a small company.
Exactly. Not anymore.
Because the CEO from WotC got promoted, we of course have a new WotC CEO.
Yeah, we do. We talked about Chris Cox, who was the former CEO of WotC, got moved over to Hasbro. He moved up, so we have a new one. And once again, they looked to Microsoft for the hire. That's where Chris Cox came from. The new executive president of WotC and the digital gaming as well is Cynthia Williams is her name. She was general manager and vice president over at Microsoft, and she most recently has been dealing with the gaming ecosystem commercial team for Microsoft. Not exactly sure what that entitles, but I'm guessing she knows a lot about video games and digital stuff because I think that's what she specializes in. Prior to her 11 years at prior to her years at Microsoft, she worked at a little company you might have heard of called Amazon. She worked on Fulfilled by Amazon there. She was the division's first CFO and COO. And then she finished as general manager and vice president of Fulfilled by Amazon Business and Operations.
Okay.
So she's got a pretty good business pedigree behind her working at Amazon and Microsoft for the past 14, 15 years. So it'll be interesting to see what she does. Along with her, they also announced Tim Fields is also coming in. He is going to be the senior vice president and general manager of digital gaming. He's a 26-year veteran of the video game business. Recently, he did a 5-year stint as the CEO of mobile gaming studio Kabam Games. They produced Marvel Contest of Champions. It was their biggest game that they did. So there you go. WotC getting some new people, and you can see they did talk about this. We've talked about it on the show before. WotC really is looking at digital and video games. That's the market they really want to tap into. And I think these two hires make sense for that. And we'll see what becomes of it.
We'll see how that goes. So let's then go and see what's going on from the tabletop. Where apparently, if you're looking for housing at Gen Con, you had to avoid blinking.
Yeah, good luck with that. This is the first time I ever remember this happening, but Housing went up and sold out within 3 hours.
Well, how long did it usually take?
It usually a couple days, sometimes couple weeks. So I don't know exactly what this means. Either A, there was way less hotel rooms, or B, there's going to be a crap ton of people at Gen Con 2022.
Yeah.
I'm not sure which it is. Gen Con did say, due to an unexpected turnout, the Gen Con 2022 attendee room block has completely sold out. Over the coming days and weeks, they are going to be producing supplemental inventory and making it available for booking on a first-come, first-served basis. So if you still want in and you still want a hotel room, you still might have a chance, but don't hold your breath.
Don't hold your breath.
Like I said, I don't ever remember this happening before. It's just crazy to me. So yeah, there's pretty much no. And then I kind of just did to see, okay, well, let's not look in the housing block, but let's just go on and see if you can get a hotel room downtown. And as of I did this about a week ago. Well, it was Monday, last Monday I did this. I just went on like hotels.com, tried to find a room. Could not find a room within 30 miles of downtown.
30 miles.
Everything was booked 30 miles of downtown.
Oh, good grief.
So, like I said, either there's way less rooms or there's a lot of people going to be at Gen Con. So we'll see how this plays out. I did reach out to them for clarification. It's like, hey, was there just like way less in the housing block this year? And of course, I didn't get an answer back. So
yeah, because there could be a possibility that COVID strictures or something like this had reduced availability of people that get packed.
Yeah, and see, like, so far, the only thing we know is that you do have to be fully vaccinated and you have to have proof of that and you have to wear a mask. There's no attendance limits this year.
Okay.
So far.
So far, of course.
So that might be driving this because it can be full capacity again, which last year it was at half cap. So we'll see how this plays out. But if you're looking for a room for Gen Con, good luck.
Very well. And then let's go and see what's coming in from the page. Where apparently Humble Bundle is being invaded by Vampirilla?
They are, and this is awesome. If you love the Vampirilla comics, like me, go buy this bundle now. You have no excuse for not buying this. This is a ton of comics. Of course, these would be digital because you're buying the PDFs, but still, this is a lot of Vampirilla. All of these are really, really good. This has one of my favorite Vampirilla comics in it as well, too. So go get it. Go buy this bundle. You can get all of this for the low price. If you want everything, it's going to be like $30. We'll get you 30 different items. I'm sorry, it's $25 is the lowest price. So for $25, you can get 30 Vampirilla books to peruse at your leisure on whatever medium you so choose, because these are DRM free, so you can put them on any reader device that you possibly would want to. But yes, as I said, over 30 titles, and it does have my favorite Vampirilla comic. If you do buy this, read Vampirilla Volume 1, Our Lady of the Shadows. Excellent series. It's my little tip for you. Hack and Slash versus Vampirilla is really good too. All of them are good. Just go buy it. And then as you do that, you are going to be helping out the charity of choice that Dynamite Comics went with for this. It is the NAACP Legal Defense and Education Fund. So you can choose how much you want to go to that, how much you want to go to Dynamite. And then if you do happen to go over on our site and use our link, we are an affiliate. Our charity that I have chosen is the American Cancer Society. So you can also determine how much money you want to put to that versus the others as well too. All your choices are there, but just go do this. This is a great deal.
There we go. And now let's see what's on the screen. where Nintendo Switch Sports is coming this April.
And this is exciting if you were a fan of Wii Sports, because this is pretty much Wii Sports for the Switch.
Wii Sports for the Switch, okay.
That's the best way to describe this. This is the newest iteration of the video game we all know and loved. Of course, Nintendo Sports, or Wii Sports, I should say.
Yeah, I guess I never I don't have a Switch, so is this thing with showing this woman looks like putting I guess it's some sort of sensor on her thigh. Is that something that's always been part of the Switch, or is this something new with this package?
No, you can do that. They're actually giving you, if you buy the physical version of this, you will get the little thigh pack that you can put on, and then you just put one of your Joy-Cons in that. And since the Joy-Cons are motion censored, you can use that leg strap, and it's going to track your movement. So like when you're playing soccer, you can actually kick, and it will kick. And then in golf, you're going to be able to use your Joy-Cons as well. So yeah, it's pretty cool. So yeah, this is going to take advantage of the Joy-Con controllers for the Switch for each sport. And they did announce bowling, tennis, and chambra, which, what the heck is chambra? I have no idea what that sport is.
Let's see.
Oh, I didn't read the full press release. Chambra, otherwise known as sword fighting. Well, why not just call it sword fighting then? Okay.
Otherwise known as sword?
Yeah, chambra, otherwise known as sword fighting. Okay.
Okay. Oh, Hamara, let's see. I guess that's the good question, why they didn't just call it that.
Anyway, along with those were featured in Wii Sports. You're also going to get soccer, volleyball, and badminton. Yes, you can play badminton virtually because we all wanted to do that. They did announce that soccer and golf is going to be coming in a free update as well. And then as we said, if you do buy the physical edition, you're going to get the leg strap. So you can use that for any games that would require leg movement, such as the aforementioned soccer. The game is currently available for pre-order. You can get it starting April the 29th, both digitally and physically. Once again, if you want the leg strap, gotta buy the physical edition.
Yes. I think that the Chamara probably means that they are basing the sword fighting on what they do in the Japanese films, on their film art style of sword fighting.
Okay.
As opposed to something more general.
Maybe
that's the reason why they use that particular term.
I just saw that and I was like, what the hell? Okay. Sword fighting. Just call it sword fighting. Good grief. Good grief, people.
Yeah, so expect it to be a rather wild version of sword fighting, I suspect.
Okay, sure.
We ought to see. Well, yes, I have a feeling that if it were more of a European style, they would have called it fencing or something like that. And Beavis and Butthead movie and new episodes are heading to Paramount Plus.
And this is a section of the show where Pine Leaf tunes out while I talk. And I'm excited. So, find something to do for about 2 minutes, Pine Leaf, because I'm going to talk about Beavis and Butthead. I'm super excited about this. Yes, the long-anticipated new Beavis and Butthead movie. We have a title for it now. It is called Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe. Also announced with the title of the movie was a synopsis of it as well, in perhaps the dumbest space movie ever made. Beavis and Butthead are sentenced to space camp by a creative judge in 1998. Their obsession with a docking simulator leads to a trip on the space shuttle with predictably disastrous results. After going through a black hole, they reemerge in our time, where they look for love, they misuse iPhones, and are hunted by the deep state. Spoiler, they don't score. So I am so excited for this movie. We did know it was coming out. Now we know it's going to be on Paramount Plus. Also announced they are going to bring some new episodes out as well. Also exclusively on Paramount Plus. It's going to be a full season. They did say at least one new season was planned. They might have 2 new seasons. And about that, they just said Beavis and Butthead are back and they're stupider than ever. I am all for it. Additionally, with all of this, The full library of 200 episodes from the original series will be streaming on the platform in a remastered form as well. So lots of Beavis and Butthead in my future coming soon, and I am so happy about that. And Pineleaf could care less.
Yes. and that's it for what's on the screen. So let's look at what we did in gaming. Where apparently I heard that Drac didn't have much energy.
No, I tried not to die of the Ravenloft plague, basically. That was my whole couple weeks that I did. I just tried not to die. So, and that's partly why we didn't have a show as well, plus other crap. But biggest thing was, yeah, I've been dying of the Ravenloft plague. So hopefully it's getting better. Ish.
The clerics are starting to find the right spell to use.
Yeah, sure.
Yes. Before he started to come down with the Ravenloft plague, though, Drac and I did have an opportunity to continue on with Saltmarsh, where we actually managed to run Danger at Dunwater.
Oh, yeah, I completely forgot that we actually did. We got back into Saltmarsh. That was, yeah. Oh, look at that. I played DDO. Oh, my God, the world's going to end.
And since then, I ran Prelude to Dread, which is a little bit of a prologue that they have to the Isle of Dread that's upcoming in there. Sort of how they are going to leak the Isle of Dread into Stormreach and all. And my comment on this one is, they don't make Dread Pirate Roberts like they used to.
Okay, I can't wait to actually run this.
I guess I have a feeling that if it were Wesley or Inigo Montoya, I would have been killed in that boss fight. But I managed to. So even though I could say that I defeated Dread Pirate Roberts, I don't think he was up to snuff to his predecessors.
Well, I am really interested to running this now.
Yes, that was it. In fact, I had recorded that one, and during the running on it, when I started seeing that the pirates were being called Dread Pirates and stuff like this, I jokingly says, "What is the boss's name going to be Roberts?" And when I approached the ship and the quest objective changed to say defeat Dread Pirate Roberts, I said, "Hey." I was like,
and there you have it. Spoiler.
Yeah. So in other gaming, in ESO, I quested in the Dominion lands, and I am one quest away to finishing up Cadwell Silver. And what that means is that after you finish the quest for your original area and that you complete the main storyline, after that point, you can go to the other regions, and if you complete one of the other regions, you get Cadwell's Silver, and if you complete both of the other regions, you get Cadwell's Gold. So I am just getting ready to finish up Cadwell's Silver. And also, I have been playing a great deal of Legacy of Gravehold. This is a new Legacy game for Eon's End. I started playing it last week and really close to finishing up that campaign over there. So that's what's been taking up a lot of my time. ESO, a little bit of DDO, and Legacy of Gravehold. We currently have 15 supporters on Patreon, and if you'd like to help support DDO players, you can go to the donations page where you can support the Players Alliance on Patreon. Your money will be used for podcast hosting, website hosting, and to pay for our live shows. I do not see any emails this week. If you feel like send one, you can send it to podcast@ddoplayers.com. You also have Twitter. The Players Alliance at Players Ally, DDO Players at DDO Players, Dracula at Dracula_72, and Pineleaf at Pineleaf Needles. The Players Alliance has two shows on Saturdays today, 30 p.m. Eastern Time. We have Locho Players News, and we record DDO Players News when Drac isn't down with the plague. And you can join us for our shows at ddoplayers.com/live. That is all for tonight, and this is Pineleaf Needles reminding you to quest responsibly.